Hello everyone, and welcome back to our channel, where South African politics is never dry, never dull, and almost always dancing on the edge of controversy. Today, we dive into one of the most explosive decisions the ANC has made in recent years, banning the chant "Kill the Boer," a song that's long stood at the crossroads of resistance, culture, and controversy. Now, before we get into the layers, and yes, this one has layers like a Sunday trifle, make sure to like, subscribe, and drop a comment below. Should the ANC have banned the chant? Is this a necessary move toward unity, or an erasure of history? We want to hear your take. Let's unpack what just happened. In a move that's already rattling some of its oldest and most loyal members, the African National Congress has officially banned the singing of "Kill the Boer" at its events. Secretary-General Fikile Mbalula delivered the news with all the drama and gravitas you'd expect from a man who wears sunglasses indoors and tweets in capital letters. He said, and I quote, "What served as resistance poetry during apartheid now threatens social cohesion." Translation: what once rallied people against oppression is now seen as too dangerous for South Africa's fragile democracy. And just like that, a liberation anthem is being retired, at least by the party that brought it to national prominence. But why now? Well, the chant has been under fire for years. Farming communities, particularly in rural provinces like the Free State and Limpopo, have long argued that "Kill the Boer" is not just a song, it's a direct incitement to violence. For them, it's not poetry. It's trauma. Court cases, public outcries, and even international headlines have dogged the ANC and the EFF alike over this issue. Julius Malema, as we know, has famously refused to stop singing it at rallies. His take? It's a metaphor. Deal with it. But Fikile Mbalula, ever the political chameleon, seems to be reading the room. And the room, right now, is filled with voters who want unity, not more fire. With elections coming, the ANC is clearly trying to reposition itself as a mature governing party, not a revolutionary movement stuck in the 80s. And folks, that's a tough line to walk. Let's zoom out for a second. The ANC built its identity during apartheid through powerful symbols, songs, and struggle language. "Kill the Boer, Kill the Farmer" was never a top 40 radio hit, it was a battlefield cry, a poetic expression of pain and resistance in a war for freedom. It was never meant to be pretty. It was never meant to be polite. It was born in an era where civility wasn't on the table. But in today's South Africa, one where the Constitution promises reconciliation, peace, and non-racialism, that same language carries a different weight. We are, after all, a country where farmers are killed, sometimes brutally. Where land reform is an open wound. Where the rural-urban divide still defines political campaigns. So when a chant says "Kill the Boer," even metaphorically, it hits differently. And Mbalula knows that. Now, let's be honest. This isn't just about a song. It's about what the ANC wants to become. Does it want to stay a liberation movement? Or grow into a modern, centrist party of government? Because let's face it, you can't govern by slogan. You can't fix load shedding, economic stagnation, and unemployment by yelling "Amandla" into a microphone. That might work at a rally, but it doesn't impress investors, opposition parties, or middle-class voters tired of rhetoric and desperate for results. So this move, this symbolic rejection of revolutionary songs, is a signal. The ANC wants to move on. Or at least look like it's trying to. But there's a catch. This decision is already splitting the ANC internally. Some in the party's older generation, and even younger firebrands raised on struggle politics, see this as betrayal. A sellout move. Another sign that the ANC is bending to pressure from minorities and forgetting who it is. One veteran in KwaZulu-Natal reportedly said, "The ANC didn't lose its roots, it chopped them off." Ouch. But Mbalula, Mbalula, leaned into the controversy. He called it evolution. He said the new fight isn't against the apartheid regime, it's against inequality, against corruption, against the failure to build a united nation. In his words, our new struggle is building unity, not rehearsing divisions. That line. It's going to be quoted in every political science essay from UCT to UNISA for the next decade. Because it marks a pivot, a clear departure from the romanticized struggle path towards something more pragmatic. So, what's the public saying? Well, reactions are all over the map. On one end, some civil society groups and Afrikaner organizations have cautiously welcomed the move. They see it as a step toward healing. Finally, they say, the ANC is recognizing that words matter, and that heritage shouldn't come at the cost of human dignity or racial peace. On the other end, critics on the left, especially youth activists, are outraged. They argue that South Africa is sanitizing its history. That instead of dealing with land inequality, the ANC is silencing those who still suffer under its legacy. One activist tweeted, "You can't ban struggle songs while farmers still own 70% of the land." There's a point there, because history doesn't just disappear when you stop singing about it. The land issue, wealth inequality, and rural neglect are real. And many believe this ban is cosmetic, changing the tune without addressing the root. Let's be clear, this isn't the first time the ANC has tried to adapt. It dropped the term comrade in Parliament. It's pushed for non-racial messaging in official speeches. Cyril Ramaphosa himself has walked a tightrope, reminding people of his liberation credentials while trying to attract foreign investment in Davos. But this song ban? It's louder than any press statement. Because it speaks directly to identity, and identity politics is where hearts and minds are won or lost. So the big question is, will this move cost the ANC its base? Or win it the middle ground? Here's what we're watching next. Will the EFF use this to its advantage? You better believe it. Julius Malema is probably warming up his vocal cords right now. His party has no intention of abandoning the chant. In fact, they'll likely double down, branding themselves as the last true voice of the people. And for Zuma's MK party, this is an opening. Zuma built his image on tradition, song, and resistance. Expect him to throw some shade, if he hasn't already, and paint the ANC as too soft for the struggle. So the ANC may have acted out of principle, or strategy. Maybe both. But either way, the battlefield is set. In the coming elections, Kill the Boer won't just be a chant, it'll be a symbol. Of division. Of change. Of the painful process of reconciling the past with the present. That's all from us today. If you found this analysis thought-provoking, do us a favor and smash that like button, subscribe for more deep dives into South African politics, and drop a comment below. Should the ANC have banned the chant? Is this the right way to move forward, or a dangerous rewriting of history? Thanks for watching. Stay sharp, stay informed, and as always, see you next time.